As dawn broke over the horizon, casting soft hues of pink and gold across the sky, Samuel took a deep breath, the crisp morning air filling his lungs with newfound determination. The village was waking up, the sounds of roosters crowing intermingling with the gentle rustle of leaves in the fresh breeze. Clad in a simple tunic and trousers that were slightly too big for him, he felt a strange mix of excitement and apprehension. Today, he would step out of the gilded cage of his reality and into a world that felt at once foreign yet strangely familiar. He ventured toward the bustling marketplace, where the scent of fresh-baked bread and ripe fruits wafted through the air. Samuel had not set foot in such a place for years, always sending servants to attend to his needs. But today he was a commoner, a farmer named Sam who had come to trade and explore. As he walked among the stalls, he watched in wonder as villagers bartered and laughed, their faces alight with joy and camaraderie. Was a stark contrast to the lonely dinners held in his grand dining hall, where every meal seemed to echo with silence. As he navigated through the crowd, Samuel's keen eyes caught sight of a woman who stood out among the throng. She was bent over a table laden with fruits, her hands deftly arranging apples, her brow slightly furrowed in concentration. Her hair, a cascade of dark curls, framed her face, and there was an ease to her movements that spoke of genuine grace. Samuel's heart quickened at the sight of her. She seemed to radiate warmth, and for a fleeting moment, he felt something stir within him that he had thought long buried. Gathering his courage, he approached her stall. "Could I trouble you for an apple?" he asked, modulating his voice to mask his true identity. The woman looked up, her deep brown eyes meeting his, and he felt as though the very air around them changed. "Of course," she replied, her lips curving into a welcoming smile. "These are freshly picked. You won't find any sweeter." As she handed him the apple, their fingers brushed lightly, and Samuel felt a jolt of electricity coursing through him. "I'm Sam," he introduced himself, watching closely as her expression shifted from curiosity to a warm friendliness. "I'm new to the village, just trying to find my way around." "Welcome!" she exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. "I'm Alara. If you need help, I'll be more than happy to show you the best spots around here." Grateful, Samuel accepted her offer. They wandered the market together, Alara introducing him to various vendors and sharing little anecdotes about each one. With every story, Samuel felt more at ease, the heaviness of his disguise wearing off, replaced by an authentic sense of companionship. He noticed how she treated each vendor with respect, how she listened intently, and how her laughter seemed to draw in everyone around her. As the sun climbed higher, Samuel felt an undeniable bond forming, yet he wrestled with the truth he had hidden from her. There was fear lurking at the edges of his heart. What would she think if she learned he was not merely a farmer, but one of the richest men in the land? He pushed the thought aside for now. In this moment, he wanted to relish the joy of connection and the simplicity that had always eluded him. Each dawn, Samuel found himself waking to the gentle sound of roosters announcing the start of a new day. He would rise from his straw mattress, stretch his arms toward the heavens, and breathe in the crisp, earthy scent of the field before him. The sun would soon rise, casting a golden hue over the landscapes he was beginning to cherish. Every day was an invitation to immerse himself deeper into the simplicity of common life. A life that was foreign, yet strangely appealing. As Samuel walked to the fields, the villagers greeted him with warm smiles and friendly waves. Though he was still a newcomer, he felt increasingly at home among these hardworking souls. They toiled tirelessly, planting seeds and sowing dreams, their laughter ringing out across the dirt pathways. It was with them that he found a sense of belonging he had long yearned for, a feeling that blossomed even fuller in the presence of Maya. Maya was a beacon of energy and joy, skipping gracefully between rows of crops like a playful breeze. Her laughter was infectious, bubbling from her chest like a melody that chased clouds away. She worked every bit as hard as the rest, but her spirit made the labor seem lighter. Samuel observed her as she tirelessly helped others, often stopping to offer a hand or a kind word, her presence brightening the day of anyone fortunate enough to cross her path. Their friendship evolved naturally, beginning with shy exchanges about their work. Samuel would share with her the little techniques he had learned, and in turn, she would tell him about the stories of the village, weaving tales of its history and its people. In her storytelling, he found an insightful depth that captivated him. He learned about hardships faced by families, the resilience they'd shown, and the bonds that held them together. With every story, he noticed how Maya's passion for her village shaped her, a devotion that he found admirable. As days turned into weeks, Samuel felt a burgeoning affection for her. Her kindness resonated with him, and her laughter became a treasure he wished to protect. Yet, as he grew closer to her, guilt wrapped around his heart like thorns. How could he confess to her the truth of his origins? The weight of his secret pressed down on him. He worried that revealing his wealth could shatter the simplicity of their relationship, casting a shadow on the pure joy they shared. He watched her one evening as the sun dipped below the horizon, a fiery canvas of oranges and purples lighting the sky, her hair tousled by the gentle wind. There was an innocence to her laughter, a lightness that drew him in, yet he fought against his desire to reveal himself. If she were to see him as anything more than an equal, would she still find him charming? Would she still laugh that magical laugh? And so, he buried his identity deeper, wanting nothing more than to hold on to the unrestrained joy of their friendship amidst the fields of the village. Each moment with Maya reminded him that sometimes the richest treasures are not those that glitter, but those that resonate with the heart. Samuel remained steadfast, toiling under the sun, cherishing both her and the secret he carried like a precious stone. As the village festival unfolded, the air became thick with the scent of roasted meats and sweet pastries. Lanterns swung from every post, illuminating faces that gleamed with joy. Laughter bubbled around them, as children darted through the crowd with painted faces, while couples twirled to the music that floated like a gentle breeze. Samuel felt a wall slowly crumbling within him as he watched Maya's eyes sparkle like the stars above. She danced with abandon, her spirit unrestrained, twirling amid the throng of jubilant villagers. Each movement seemed to tell a story of hope, of passion, of a life adorned with vibrant colors. Samuel could hardly take his eyes off her. She embodied everything he had searched for, yet never believed he could find. Her laughter was infectious, striking a chord deep in his heart, awakening feelings long buried beneath layers of wealth and duty. With every shared glance, Samuel knew that their bond had morphed into something profoundly intimate, yet a nagging tension tethered him to the ground. The truth he harbored felt heavier than the most precious jewel. Would the allure of his hidden life overshadow the beauty of what they shared? Would his fortune, which had once seemed a symbol of success, now emerge as a barrier between them? As the rhythmic drum beats pulsed through the night, Samuel's heart ached with unspoken words. Maya, nestled among friends, was a beacon of authenticity. Her enthusiasm, so raw and unfiltered, ignited a flicker of courage. Perhaps his riches were not the essence of who he was, a facade built to shield him from vulnerability. He could not let fear dictate this moment. The ties between them deserved sincerity. Pausing to catch his breath amidst the revelry, he approached her, hesitant yet resolute. They exchanged knowing smiles as she beckoned him to join the spinning chaos. For a fleeting moment, he felt liberated, intoxicated by the rhythms of the night. Lost in the music, he realized this was a world where wealth meant little. Here, everything was vibrant and real, and all he wanted was to share it with Maya. He took a moment to watch her face, glowing under the soft light of the lanterns. Deep down, he longed to expose the vulnerability that lurked behind his confident facade. The sharp contrast between their worlds weighed heavily on him. The bailiffs of his fortune and the condemnation of a judgmental society swirled in his mind, but they seemed distant in her presence. No longer could he ignore the truth that he clutched tightly. This bond, blossoming like the flowers adorning the festival stalls, deserved honesty. It was in the heartfelt moments they shared, his fleeting doubts overshadowed by the warmth of her smile, that Samuel found clarity. Love, he realized, was richer than all the gold his family possessed. Tonight, amidst laughter and the glow of lanterns, he vowed to embrace that truth. He would not let fear steal this treasure away. As the sun dipped low behind the horizon, casting a warm golden hue across the small clearing, the breeze rustled gently through the leaves above. The old oak tree stood steadfast, its gnarled branches embracing the soft afternoon light. Samuel sat cross-legged on the grass, his heart thumping loudly in his chest, the weight of his secret nearly unbearable. Maya was beside him, her gaze fixed ahead, lost in the beauty of the moment, unaware of the storm brewing within him. He stole a glance at her profile. The way the light danced on her hair made her look ethereal, but beneath that beauty lay an urgency to be known, to break free from the facade he had clung to for so long. With a deep inhalation, he broke the silence that enveloped them, his voice trembling slightly. "Maya, there's something I need to tell you. Something important? About me." Maya turned, her eyes widening slightly. "What is it, Samuel?" The concern tinged her tone, sent a flash of apprehension through him. He had shared so many pieces of himself with her, yet this revelation felt like an insurmountable cliff he was about to scale. Taking another steadying breath, he began to untangle the web of his carefully constructed lies. "I haven't been completely honest with you. When we first met, I was not the man I portrayed myself to be." The words hung in the air, thick with implication. Maya's brow furrowed, and Samuel took this as a cue to press on, compelled by the intensity of their bond. "I am not just Samuel, the man who loves the little things in life. I'm also a person with wealth, someone who comes from a family with means. But I chose to live simply, to connect with people without the trappings of my fortune." He watched as her expression shifted, surprise layering across her features like the changing colors of autumn leaves. What do you mean? You're wealthy?" She seemed stunned, both by the revelation and the implications it carried. "Yes," he replied slowly, choosing his words with care. "I wanted to understand love on its own terms, not through the lens of money or privilege. I wanted to feel what it was like to be seen for who I am, not for what I possess. I feared that wealth would overshadow the true connection I found with you." The silence stretched between them, palpable and charged. For a moment, Samuel feared he had lost her. Yet as he continued, he found solace in the compassion reflected in her eyes. "I am still that man who shared his dreams with you beneath this very tree. That part of me hasn't changed, but now you see the complete picture." Maya took a deep breath, processing the raw vulnerability he had laid at her feet. Her initial disbelief began to melt away, replaced by a dawning realization. She looked deeply into his eyes, searching for the truth that lay beneath his revelation. Beyond the wealth, she saw the man who held her heart with tender care, who listened to her hopes and fears, who cherished authentic moments. With a gentle smile breaking through her surprise, she said softly, "You are still the same Samuel I fell for. This doesn't change how I feel about you." Her acceptance washed over him, a soothing balm to his anxieties. In that moment, the chasm created by deception began to close, allowing a deeper connection to blossom amidst their honest exchange. As the days turned into weeks, Samuel and Maya found themselves navigating the complexities of a world that seemed to shift with every revelation of their feelings. Their initial conversations, infused with a blend of nervous excitement and deep curiosity, had transformed into profound discussions about their future. A future that seemed more promising than ever against the backdrop of their united vision for a better community. Samuel, with his wealth, was acutely aware of the responsibility that came with it. Growing up, he had seen the stark disparities between the well-off and those who struggled to make ends meet. Maya's perspective, shaped by her experiences working within the community, provided him with insights that money alone could not buy. She painted vivid pictures of the challenges that families faced daily, and Samuel listened with newfound urgency. Together, they planned initiatives that would not only provide immediate relief, but plant the seeds for sustainable growth. One crisp afternoon, they sat in a small cafe that had once been the pride of the town, but had fallen into disrepair. The brittle sound of shattered dreams echoed within its walls, and Samuel felt a pang of recognition. "We can revitalize this place," he suggested, a spark igniting in his eyes. Maya smiled softly, her enthusiasm palpable. "Yes, and it can become a hub for local artisans, a space where creativity flourishes. We can organize workshops, farmers markets. The community can come together here." Their discussions often unfolded in the shade of the old oak tree in the park, and it became a symbol of their evolving partnership, flourishing in the light of shared purpose. It was here that they brainstormed ideas like reducing food waste through community programs, collaborating with local schools toward educational initiatives, and even launching a scholarship fund to help deserving youth chase their dreams without the weight of financial burdens. As the community began to rally around their vision, Samuel and Maya experienced the sweet taste of hope and progress. People who had once been indifferent started to engage. Local businesses saw a revival, and friendships grew among previously rivalrous merchants. Together, they understood that love extends far beyond personal connections. It reaches into the very fabric of society, intertwining individual aspirations with collective dreams. Their union flourished as both a romantic relationship and a powerful alliance for good. Maya saw in Samuel not just a partner, but a visionary, someone who was willing to put in the effort to truly uplift those around them. Samuel found in Maya an unwavering source of strength, her principles guiding him. On weekends, they spent time volunteering, rolling up their sleeves to paint community centers or distribute food at shelters. It wasn't just about the money for Samuel anymore. It was about being part of something bigger than himself. Finally, when their wedding day arrived, it was not merely a celebration of their love, but an affirmation of the journey they embarked on, together. Friends and family gathered not just to witness their vows, but to participate in a commitment to their shared values. A beautiful tapestry composed of love, compassion, and a promise to uplift their community always. In that moment, under a sun-drenched sky, surrounded by laughter and joy, Samuel and Maya understood that true love was never just about the two of them. It was about the connection they fostered beyond themselves, weaving many hearts into the fabric of their lives.